Anything you step into 100%, you have to go in it with full faith. Anything at all. Anything you do has to come from a place of faith and joy and gratitude. If not, you're not going to receive what you're looking for. You're already going in it half-assed, you know? So I was like, dude, of course some people are not receiving results in their life. Of course you keep repeating the same loop over and over and over, expecting different results, complaining about the same shit 6 months from now, because you're doing the same stuff, going into it, you know, with the same mentality. So I wanted to come on. I was like, you know what? Let me share with the girls 3 things that you need to let go of, like immediately, in order to see massive abundance in your life. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about love and happiness and joy. Okay. And number 1, you have to stop letting go of expectation. Expectation is the number 1. Expectation is the killer of everything, right? Because, for example, if you go into a relationship and expect the person to treat you a certain way and then they don't, you're going to let yourself down, right? Because you're expecting someone to act in a way that you've already perceived that is good for you. Yes, you should have boundaries, okay? Hello, Chris, my love. Talking about the 3 things you need to let go of to see massive abundance in your life. And number 1 is expectation. The minute you go into anything expecting anything, you're fucking it up for yourself automatically. You're stepping into fucking hell. So yes, you should expect from yourself. What is your reaction going to be? How are you going to participate? For example, we're talking about relationships, and you're about to start a new relationship and you expect them to treat you a certain way, right? And then they don't. How are you going to react to that? Because all you can do is control yourself. That's all you can do. All you can do is control the way you react to things, and the way you participate in everything in your life and in your business. So how are you going to control yourself? How are you going to react? You know, what are the steps that you're going to take to, whether it's make better boundaries and make better decisions, right? What are you going to learn from this experience? So that expectation shit got to stop. It has to stop, especially, you know, with the new year coming. You don't want to repeat the same thing in freaking 2020. How long are you going to keep doing the same shit, right? I see so many people out there doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Dude. So that's number 1, okay? Expectation, okay? Write a list. If you haven't written a list about your boundaries, write them. Write a list about your boundaries. If you haven't written a list about, because what you want and expectations are 2 different things, right? Expectation means that you want someone else to behave in a way that you see fit. You should more than likely stop that. Sorry, I got distracted with a text message. Okay. Anyway, so that's it, expectation. The second thing you need to let go of is, there's so many, but I'm trying to think of the top 3, because I usually say guilt because of this time of year. Guilt is a very, very big negative emotion that is useless. But I also feel that the better one to let go of, you hear that? This is my life. Side note, everywhere I've lived in Bangkok, there has been construction. Everywhere I live. The last place I lived, construction. The place before that, construction. And now this place across the street, and the next 2 buildings next to me, they're doing construction. I'm constantly surrounded by construction, and the universe has not told me why the fuck this is going on, because this is really weird. Hello, good morning. So anyway, if you hear the noise, that's part of life. There's construction yet again. So anyway, the second thing you need to let go of to see massive abundance is fear. Fear is better. Is fear, because we were talking about the list of all the things that there's so many negative things that you guys hold on to that you shouldn't hold on to. Fear is the next thing. Let me tell you why fear, okay? You should be a little scared. When you're making a decision that you've never made before, when you're trying something new, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you should be a little scared. It should also be exciting, right? Okay, this is why I say fear. When you depend on someone else for your success, you've already fucked up, okay? For example, when I first started coaching 2 years ago, I had a handful of women that would reach out to me, and it would specifically ask me, do you guarantee results? And I said, no. I can't guarantee that you're going to do what we set out for you to do. I can't guarantee if I say, hey, girl, you need to write that forgiveness letter and get it out of your system that you're going to do it, right? It's up to you. It's like going to a therapist, right? And you expect a therapist or a doctor to give you medicine to make you feel better because, again, it's expectation. You see how it's all connected? So you have to let go of fear that it's not going to work, okay? Yeah, fear that that you're gonna invest in yourself and it's not gonna be it's not gonna work. And the reason I say that is because, for example, you can do it with relationships, right? When you're starting to date, you're going into dating with an expectation, whether it's conscious or subconscious, right? So me, because I do a lot of inner work, every day I'm doing inner work. Every day I'm processing things that I've said or I've done the day before. And I see where it's coming from. I'm like, okay, Mills, you gotta let go of this, you gotta let go of that. So I'm on a totally different level than all of you, which is why I can coach you guys on this stuff. And so I'm like, all right, I'm going with this expectation, for example, myself, using myself as an example. I consciously and subconsciously push people away or potential, dating material because of fear. But also, it's not fear in a bad way, because fear is I am moving in 7 months. I'm moving to Spain with my daughter, so I'm excited. So I'm fearful of, and this is an example, but a real example. I'm fearful of, oh my God, what if I date? And then I like this guy a lot, and he loves Thailand, and he doesn't want to leave, but I want to leave, right? So I just don't even bother, okay? But then I complain that I'm single. You see the cycle? Okay, we all do it. Fuck, there's a mosquito. Shit. Oh, guys, I hate bugs. Oh, it left. Great, now I have a mosquito in my house that I have to kill. Welcome to Bangkok. So fear, and fear's natural, right? And fear it would be great. It would be great if I was going to stay here and I like someone, to be great to pursue something, but because I'm not, right? So yes, look at all the whys. You should always ask yourself why. But also fear keeps you stuck, right? So if you're fearful, for example, if you're trying to ask for promotion at work, or maybe start a side job so you can start working for yourself, and let's say you only have $200, right? If you only have $200, you're like, well, I expect these $200 to make me $1,000, right? That's the whole point. You want to invest to make more money. But if in the process you don't make more money, and what you do is you grow as a person, right? You learn, okay? You're adding value to yourself in other ways. What is worth more to you in the long run? And so I strongly believe, because I've seen this before, is that fear keeps people stuck in the same loop of mistakes, in the same loop of that pattern of thinking that hasn't helped you ever before, okay? And so when you guys watch this video, please give me a thumbs up if you know, like if you agree on what I'm saying. Or also if you notice that while you're hearing this, if you notice like, oh shit, I have been doing the same thing over and over and over. So, and I've seen this. I've seen this so many times, especially with people who are wanting to, like I said, get a side job or start their own business, right? But they're afraid it won't work. So you're already going in with that mentality that it won't work. You're going in with the mentality also that, oh my God, I'm going to invest this money and I'm not going to see the return on it. Well, guess what? The universe doesn't say no. Okay, whatever energy is in charge of this fucking world, they don't say no. It says yes, not now, and I have something better. You guys need to remember that, okay? Go into anything from now on with that mentality. Instead of saying, I'm afraid it won't work, so you know what? I want this, and the universe says yes. For example, if you go into invest in something, right? For a side job or whatever, and you have that little nagging voice in your head that says, oh my God, I'm gonna lose all my money. Guess what? The universe is going to say yes, because you're already telling the universe it's going to happen. Okay, you're already telling yourself it's going to happen. So what's going to happen is subconsciously you are already creating your reality. Okay, your thoughts, this is why I posted that video, you guys, for you guys to watch about how your thoughts, okay, and your emotions are so important to the life that you create right now. Okay, because when you're angry, what do? You lash out at people, right? When you're hurt, what do? You want other people to hurt along with you, right? If someone hurts your feelings, the next thing you do is you hurt them back, okay? You guys don't understand how important emotions are. We are the only species in this world with such a varied amount of emotions. Look up on the internet the emotion wheel and break that shit down. And Google that shit. There are over 100 emotions, okay? Emotions are very important. And it goes with your thoughts, because if you think negatively, you're going to feel negatively, right? If someone hurts you and instead of you retaliating, you're like, you know what? I don't know what this person is going through. I'm going to shed light on them. If it hurts you, genuinely hurts you, ask yourself, find out within yourself why this is triggering something within you. Deal with it for yourself. Turn that negative emotion into a positive emotion. See it from a different perspective. What you're doing then is you're now creating a different reality for yourself, okay? So this is why fear is one of those things that you need to let go of. Fear is one of the biggest killers of dreams, okay? Fear of breaking up, for example, even relationships, right? Narcissist relationships. Fear, because you've already been programmed by your loved one of all that negative stuff. You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, right? So you've already been conditioned by your partner to think this way. So you're afraid to leave. Oh, wait, if I leave him, I can't work. I'm not going to be able to pay the bills. There's lots of opportunities there. Bitch, please work 3 jobs if you have to. Would you rather have to work 3 jobs and get yourself your own apartment by yourself, where you don't have no one being a bitch to you and beating you up and all that stuff? Like, there are choices. And I'm really, this is like a pet peeve of mine with people, is like, stop making excuses as to why your life is the way it is. And accept the fact that you are there because of you. Every single choice you have made in this life, it has brought you where you are right now. And no one's going to get you out of there but yourself. You can hire $1 million coach. You can hire a $5 coach. At the end of the day, it's still your choice whether you're going to move forward or not, okay? You can leave your abusive boyfriend, or you can not leave your abusive boyfriend. Doesn't matter the reason. The reason doesn't matter. The matter is what the action is that you're taking. What matters is what are you doing? How are you processing? What are you feeling in the process? What are you thinking in the process? Because if you're thinking, oh, I can't leave my ex, I can't leave my husband because, I'm not gonna be able to make it on my own, then, okay, that's your thought, right? Then you're feeling that you're not good enough. What is the feeling that accompanies that? I'm feeling I'm not good enough. I'm feeling that everything he says is right. So then your actions, what are the actions that you're doing to prove yourself right? You stay in the relationship. That is the action that you're taking. So I hope you guys understand this, right? How everything is connected. So fear is the next thing you need to let go of, okay? The third thing you need to let go of, so you got expectations, you have fear, and the third thing you need to let go of, I'm torn between guilt and resentment. I really am. I'm really torn between guilt and resentment. They're connected in a lot of ways. So I'm going to do guilt/resentment for this, okay? And the reason I'm going to do that is because resentment is when you start shaming others for your life choices, right? And again, this is when other emotions come in and they mix together. There's never one emotion. There's always a mix of emotions. You're never just sad. For example, you're sad because someone hurt your feelings. You're never just sad. You're sad because you were angry first. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to say guilt/resentment. So anything you resent doing, anything that you're hard on yourself for, okay? Whether you did something or you didn't do something. That's a big thing. A lot of self-blame has to go along with that. A lot of shame. Shame is part of resentment, okay? So this is why it's hard for me to pick another thing, but they're all connected. So You need to let go of that. You need to let go of that. Stop being hard on yourself. Write down anything that you feel guilty about, shameful about, resentful about. Write it down. Write it down, guys. Write it down. You should be writing this shit down, because you can ask yourself, when you're writing it down, ask yourself why, and then ask yourself, you know, did I have the tools at that present time to know better, to make better choices? You probably weren't equipped with the tools. Okay? If you've learned from these experiences, then you now have the tools, you've acquired the tools to not repeat that mistake again. Does that make sense? So be grateful and thankful for some of these experiences, if not all of these experiences, okay? But especially the negative ones. Be thankful and grateful, because now you have acquired the tools needed to see at a glance when something like this is going to repeat itself. You can say, hey, I'm not going to participate in this. I've learned from this already. Let's not do this, okay? So write the list, guys, of like anything you feel bad about, especially like your fear stuff. Like if you were to write a list right now of things you feel fearful about, then you can ask yourself why you're afraid. Why am I afraid of this? Okay. You can write out, for example, who do I know has accomplished this, has overcome this? What can I learn from this person? Okay. I'm fucking thirsty. Yes, this is my manifestation bottle. I don't lie when I tell you guys this is what I drink out of every fucking day in my house. So yeah, write down your lists, okay? It's very important. So do the same thing with the shame and resentment. What do you feel bad about? What do you feel guilty about? What do you feel shameful about? What are you resentful about? For example, when I got out of my narcissistic marriage, and I still have moments, guys. I was with this person for 10 years. We just got divorced in March. And I have been doing fucking fabulous, okay? And it was taking me a long time to give myself like credit and high five myself on the fact that I've come so far in such a short period of time. March, right? April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, 9 months. So the length of a fucking pregnancy, okay? 9 months. It hasn't even been a year yet. And my life has done like a whole 180, okay? I am not the same person I was a week ago, let alone 9 months ago, okay? Oh, my allergies. The weather in Bangkok has been changing like so drastically. So lately it's been like 65 degrees out, 60 degrees out, and everyone's out in colds. And so our bodies are not used to the cold. So everyone's walking around with either the flu or, like me, I have a sinus infection still. So excuse me for wiping my nose on live video, if that gives you the creeps. So anyway, going back to my divorce, I had a lot of questioning to do there, and I had to do a lot of forgiveness there. And I had a lot of resentment towards myself because I had originally left. I left him and I took my daughter back home to the States, and he came to get me, and I believed everything he told me, and I came back. And then it was just a ploy to get me back into a foreign country where my rights are still limited. But that's a whole nother story. So I've had to forgive myself because I was resentful. I would have conversations with my girlfriends and I'd be like, yeah, I should never come back. I should have never came back. And it's bullshit. Okay. So all I was doing was holding on to that negativity. All I was doing was not giving myself the opportunity and the space to grow and to be thankful and grateful. So I've spent the last year, we've been separated for a year, divorced for 9, which was an extreme thing for me because I needed it on paper. I needed to be null and void on paper. Just us being separated wasn't enough. There was way too much control that he still had. So I don't know why my computer keeps dimming and it's plugged in. It's so weird. So yeah, I had to give myself time and space, and remind myself, we did have some good years, and we have a beautiful child together, and he's a great dad. So you have to look like that silver lining thing. You have to look at the silver lining. So when you're going through your resentful, guilt, shame list, right? All that negative stuff, write out what are the positive points. What did you learn from it? Okay. I learned so much from this marriage, but also because it was 10 years that we were together. I know that it's going to take me a little longer to not switch back into insecurity. I still have a little bit of insecurity left when it comes to guys that I like. And it's subconscious because I'm like, oh, I'm going to end up, depending on this person, because I did depend on my ex-husband for so long because I wasn't allowed to work in a foreign country. And I went from being independent. I owned 2 cupcake stores before we left to Asia, that I got comfortable in that role of being a housewife, knowing that I hated it. Okay, I'm not a housewife type of person. And so it's something that I had to accept. It's just not my personality. I love to cook and I hate to clean, but I'm not one of those typical housewives that just enjoys being home and taking care of the, like that. I can't. I was meant, and I have no shame. I'm not shaming housewives. Let me tell you, some women are really good at this shit. I can't do it. Anyway, moving on. So I learned a lot about myself. I also became aware of the things I needed to change. I am from Brooklyn, New York. I am Spanish, so I'm a spitfire. I used to be worse with getting angry like this, okay? I wouldn't talk. I just roll up my fists and start going because being small, I was like, 80 pounds and like 4'11", in school. And so I was the skinny, nerdy girl. And I had to learn to stick up for myself, right? There was no one sticking up for me, right? So I would get bullied all the time. And so that's what I took with me through my 20s, through most of my 30s, actually all of my 30s. Whenever someone said something about me, I was like, bitch, let's go at it, And that's how I was all the time. Actually, I'm still like that a little bit, about 5%. 5%. When people, when I feel like people are picking on me, it comes out. But I've gotten better. But it's a work in progress, right? You're gonna have triggers. And this is another thing I want you guys to know. You don't actually eliminate something forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, like people, hypnosis, yes, it works. Like those people who like do hypnotherapy and they're able to quit smoking, they still have triggers, but hypnotherapy is completely different. Okay, if you guys have something like that you need to get rid of, like smoking or like any bad habits like that, then fuck yeah, do hypnotherapy. But if you're trying to do this on your own, yes, it's going to take a little longer. If you don't have outside help with someone who's equipped and able to help you overcome these things in your life. So I'm looking for it's cold in here. I'm freezing. So look at those 3 things in your life right now and ask yourself what's going on in your life. Why do you keep seeing the same patterns? Okay. It could be with conversations with people in your life who trigger you. And these are the things that you need to get rid of if you're trying to create a new reality for yourself. Okay. And this is a side note. For all of you who think manifestation is, please, please, please let this happen to me. Yes, I want this. Let me write it down. And you don't do any action and you go in it thinking it's not going to work. Guess what? It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay. The whole point about manifestation has 0 to do with, let me just write this down. You know what this does? You know what the reality of this is? Is that it's making it come to the front of your head. It's making it come to the front. To instead of keeping it in the back. Every time I see this, I'm like, and I'm repeating the affirmations in my head that I wrote on here. It reminds me of what I need to focus on. So I won't get, for example, this is for my business. It's specifically for my business, for my end of year goals. This is what it is, right? I'm not going to get any clients if I lay in bed all day and watch TV and watch Netflix, right? I have to show up. I have to give value. I have to, do I need emails to send out? Do I have a massive sale to do at the end of the year? I need to do actions, right? You have to do something, right? You can't just, this is what it is. as I create my actions, as I and I ask for signs. I'm like, okay, universe, I'm about to like send an email. I want my the people on my email list to be inspired. What should I talk about? And then something will pop into my head. That's the inspiration. That's the intuition. Okay, it's there, and it gets better. The more you practice intuition, the more it'll come to the forefront of your mind. But what this does is it is the stepping stone to creating your reality. Your reality is not the end all. Okay. When I do my and I'm gonna do it today. I have to meditate on what my next live free workshop is gonna be, and I think it's gonna be a vision board workshop, which I think is gonna be amazing for 2020. When I do that, see, now I'm excited about the vision board. So if I was to, for example, if I was to say, okay, universe, I need to do my next workshop, what should I do? That always comes to that really comes to, is the first thing I think of. Oh, my vision board workshop, because I already have it set up. All I got to do is add some printables and stuff, and I'm going to do it live with you guys and whoever signs up, and add those recordings on the website, right, on Teachable. So you when you're doing all your manifestation stuff, if you're holding on to these three things, for example, right? That's the whole point. If you're holding on to these things that I told you need to get rid of, right? And there's more. These are just three simple things that you can start with. There's a lot more shit we need to let go of collectively. Humanity needs to be more kind. We need to be kinder and more present and lead with love. But that we have to start somewhere. So let's start here. But if you do that, what's going to happen is when a new opportunity comes up, if you're looking for a relationship, right? For example, I manifested my ex. Okay. That's a whole nother live that I can do for you guys. I manifested two exes. Okay. I'll do that maybe tomorrow. Okay. I'll put a note on there and I'll do a live on that. 2 of my exes I manifested within a few months. Okay. And I'll tell you what I did, but not today. It's not just writing stuff down. Okay. Because what happens is it starts with you internally. You cannot change the outside world if you don't change the inside first. The inside has to change first, because the outside world is a reflection of what you feel on the inside, of who you are on the inside. Because if you're depressed and lonely, you're not going to go out. You're not going to interact with your friends. You're going to stay stuffing your face in the house and watching Netflix. You're never going to find that one person, that one true love, right? If you're whatever you feel in the inside, if it's negative, I don't know, I don't deserve this promotion, I'm not smart enough, someone else is more qualified, then what's going to happen is you're not going to see opportunities to maybe shadow someone better at work, to maybe I've manifested free courses, so maybe manifest a course that can help you be a candidate for this promotion and things like that, because you're creating, right, your internal world, right, is in chaos. Okay, it's in chaos, and we need to let go of these things. And so if you start with these 3 things, I promise you that the outside world will change, because you will change, your actions will change, your thoughts will change, and your emotions will change. Okay, so if you haven't been manifesting, or you're not happy with your life right now, take responsibility for the fact that you did it to yourself. And I'm not being a bitch about it. I'm being realistic. Okay, I don't sugarcoat a damn thing for anybody. If I don't sugarcoat for my children, I'm not going to sugarcoat for strangers. Okay, take responsibility. This is life. Okay, great. Put your big girl panties on and change it. Do something different. Okay, so that is it for today. I made my 30 minute mark, which was the max that I like to do on these, unless I'm doing a live training on something like specific, like a live course. So love you girls, women, sorry if I offended anyone. Let's not go into that right now, please. Let's not be sensitive. I wish you many blessings. Okay. So hope you guys are starting the your week in a great way. I am excited about December. I'm excited about 2020. And yeah, so that's all I want to share with you guys. So I hope you guys learned something from this. Guys, don't forget that if you haven't taken advantage of my free clarity call session, then I would do so. There is a questionnaire that I send out for this clarity call. It gives me a little background info on where you are right now, what you want to focus on for the clarity call. I have very limited spots. I can only do one a day. So it's one clarity call a day. And it's between 30 minutes and 60 minutes. I have the opening where it's minimum 30 minutes, but if we need to go longer, we can. And I give one of those to everyone in the group. So that's a $300 value. So take advantage of that. Maybe get a little clarity for 2020. I will post that link in the comments so you guys can have it. Okay. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.